Okay, Dr. Hayden, what are we looking at here?
So we got the results from Jackson's functional planar mapping kinetic movement assessment. So we got an overall score of 86, which is good. Still room for improvement. But looking at the breakdown, we have his strengths and weaknesses essentially from the assessment. So we got everything that's good in terms of mobility in his spine. But once we start getting to the overhead squat, we see some restrictions, and we'll get into what those are exactly in a minute. Same thing with the reverse lunge. And then the balance is good, but could be improved. And the vertical jump is probably the biggest room for improvement. Looking at some of the indexes in terms of asymmetry or flexibility. Flexibility can be improved, core stability, posture, all kinds of great data. Good targets to identify in a program and assess and treat and progress on. Looking at the model now, we have the identified areas of restriction. And if you look at the dysfunction regions on the left, it'll identify those exactly in terms of their name, and then regionally on the map on the right. And
There's a legend too.
Yeah, for sure, there's a legend. So looking at the legend now, we see what the actual restriction is, if it's a mobility issue or a stability issue. So if you're restricted and you're not moving as much, it'll turn up as blue. And if it's a stability issue, meaning that it could be strengthened a bit better, it'll turn up as red. So looking at Jackson's model, a lot of upper body stuff in the scapula and shoulders that could be improved, and having some known back and hip issues, those are also picked up in the screen nicely here. So a lot of good targets to improve stability and mobility and power, especially with the single leg vertical jumps. So we got lots of good stuff to continue to work on to improve Jackson's fitness, health, and his golf game.
So something I was thinking about as soon as I saw this. So if a golf pro or instructor could do the test, if he's collaborating with a physical therapist or a biomechanic, he can send that data to you. And then you can, obviously a collaboration, there's a fee structure and all that stuff, but that would be a really simple way of working together, would it not?
Yeah, so the nice thing is that, anybody can conduct this assessment, and, if somebody's already getting sent to see a physio or somebody in that profession, they already have the data. They don't need to do it themselves. It saves them time. It starts in getting them started right away on the exercises that need to start with. So it just saves assessment time, saves the patient or the player or the client time. And everybody's using the same system too, right? So the golf pro can do a reassessment, or the physio can do a reassessment down the road. You don't have to use their own different systems. So lots of benefits to kind of getting on the same page and moving forward with Kinetisense. So they've got a great ecosystem developed for this type of assessment, and it's generic to a lot of different sports, and I think can be further customized to be golf specific.
Really crazy cool. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Jax.